Today we are going to learn a very interesting strategy of retrograde momentum, and I have tried to explain it in the most simplest way possible with an example. So let's now continue our topic of retrograde momentum strategy. So first of all, open the Gann application. So first change the system from heliocentric to geocentric. Select the option of Venus from here. Here is our Venus planet and go forward in dates. So here you can see that Venus is moving in clockwise direction. Now when we go forward in date, suddenly you can see now it has started moving in anti-clockwise direction, opposite of clockwise direction. And after some time it again started moving in clockwise direction. So what is this overall process known as? So this overall process is known as retrograde movement. Let's see what is retrograde movement. So the planets appear to move backward in their orbit is known as retrograde motion. It is not physically realistic for the planet to begin moving backward in its orbit. It appears to be simply due to the relative positions of the planet and the Earth and how they are moving around the Earth. Let's take an example. So here are our two cars, a car A and car B. Car A is moving faster than car B. As the fastest moving car A overtakes the slower moving car B, the passenger sitting in car A feels as if the car B is moving backward, but in reality, it is the relative speed difference between the two cars. The only difference between them is the relative speed. Similarly, when you are sitting on a moving vehicle and looking outside, it appears as if the trees and buildings are moving backward, but in reality, they are stationary and the vehicle is moving. So, same case is of geocentric. Think as if you are standing on the earth and seeing the other planets revolving around you. The relative speed difference in motion is called retrograde motion. The same thing happens on planets also. The retrograde motion is important for the market on the days when it starts and ends. When the start or the end of retrograde motion coincides with other astrological phenomena, it increases the probability of a reversal or trend market. The main point you have to keep in your mind is that every planet does not work on every stock or index. There is a specific planet for each stock or index which works with higher accuracy. So how to find such planets for specific stocks or index? For that, you have to go into the past of the chart and apply it for every planet and check which retrograde movement of any planet is working perfectly, and then apply that planet to present or future for higher accuracy. Also, farther the planet, the more it takes time to complete one orbit. So more time it will take for a retrograde movement to occur. The Mercury planet has the shortest orbit, that is, it is the closest planet to the Sun. So based on statistics, the planet should have had this phenomenon of retrograde movement often during the past years. So Mercury shows retrograde movement 3 to 4 times in a year. Let's take an example for Nifty chart. As I told you first, you have to check the past data to know which planet gives more accuracy to which stock or index. So I checked the planet for the Nifty index and I discovered that Venus retrograde works perfectly about 90% of time. So select the Venus option from here. The settings which you have to keep is keep it clockwise, angle at 0 degree, and system we have to keep geocentric because retrograde movement is only in geocentric, not in heliocentric. So we will keep the system geocentric and planet we will keep as Venus. Now let's go in the past and check when the last retrograde movement was there. Make it weekly. Let's go in the past. Make it day. Go some days forward. 21. Okay, so here you can see that on the exact date 21 July 23 it stopped, and when we will go in forward dates we can see that it started moving in anti-clockwise direction, means the retrograde movement started. So the date was 21 July 23 when the retrograde movement started. Let's mark the date on the Nifty chart. Open the TradingView app. Here is our Nifty chart. Here is our date 21 July 23. Now you can see that the market was on very good trend in upward direction. But exactly from the date of 21 July 23, it started the downward movement. So this point was of the when the retrograde movement started. Now we will check for when the retrograde movement ended. So again go to Gann Approve app. Go forward in date. Okay, so here you can see that exactly on the date 31st August 23, the retrograde movement ended. When we go in forward date, we can see that it again started moving in clockwise direction. So the date was 31 August 23. Let's mark it on the Nifty chart. Here is 31st August 23. We can see that market was on downward trend, but after 31st August 23, it started going in upward direction. So we can say that for Nifty chart, the Venus retrograde movement is working very perfectly. Now let's go more in the past and check the more retrogrades of Venus and their impact on the Nifty chart. So open the Ganzilla Pro app again. Go back in date. We'll go in past. Make it as daily. Okay, so date 13 December 2021 is the date when the retrograde movement started. So when we will go forward in the date, we can see that it started moving in anti-clockwise direction. So this was the date when the retrograde movement started, which is 13 December 2021. Let's mark it on the Nifty chart. So here is the date. You can see that it was in upward direction from last 4 to 5 days, and exactly from this date 13 December 2021 it started the downward movement. It fall from the 17359 to 16518. So we can see there was a good reversal. Okay, now when this retrograde movement ended, again open the Ganzilla Pro app. Go forward in date. Yes, 25 January 2022. Here you can see that exactly at 25 January 2022 the retrograde movement stopped. After this, when we go in forward direction, it again started moving in clockwise direction. So the date is 25 January 2022. Let's mark it on the Nifty chart. So here is the point 25 January 2022. You can see that market was in good downward direction, but after 25 January 2022, the exact date 25 January 2022, after which the reversal is there, and you can see it given good movement in upward direction continuously for next 5 days. The market was in green. What we can say here is that we checked the last 2 retrogrades of Venus and it is working perfectly on Nifty chart. So we can use it to predict future movements by moving forward in date and checking when the next retrograde will occur in the future, and accordingly we can place our trades. So for whatever stock or index you want to use retrograde, just go and apply to the past and check whether it is working or not. If it is working perfectly with high accuracy, you can use it for the future. Venus is little far away, so it takes time to show retrograde movement. It is seen approximately once every 2 years. But if you want to check for a shorter time frame, then you can use Mercury or other planets which are near to the sun. Like Mercury shows retrograde motion 3 to 4 times a year. But the more it takes time to make retrograde, it has more the accuracy. So this is all about our topic, retrograde momentum strategy. You can apply this strategy on any stock or indices. Just planets will be changed. The retrograde movement of planets will only change. I hope you all liked the video. Like, comment and subscribe. Target of 1000 likes for this video.